Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. I wanted to give you guys a quick video today, talk about a few things, um, chiefly among those being pans, actually. Evony maybe has made them a little bit better. We'll see. So far, it does seem to be that there's a lot more on the map. We're running almost exclusively those right now, where before last week there was maybe, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, there was, we would run one, maybe one out of every 10 bosses or something like that because there just wasn't a lot on the map. But yeah, before I get into the video, I do want to call back to my last video where I was talking about using app coins to unlock up to 25% back rewards on Evony purchases, 15 to 25% with my code. And so if you have not seen that yet, please do go and check out that video. I'll put it in the link here, as well as I will put the steps in the description of this video as well. So, but yeah, let's get back into talking about what they actually changed. um, so the battle season is over, but this is kind of the big announcement here. So Evony apparently heard our feedback on the Pans trial event, basically that nobody likes it. And so instead of just removing it and bringing back Ymers, they've tweaked the events. So they have ramped up the spawning rate. Again, we'll see. It's still early in the day, so we'll see if it actually is significantly better. We'll see what kind of scores people are putting up in for the Pan event. See if it's comparable to Yimmers or not. Um, and then this next part is also interesting. So they've also increased the damage of recommended range and ground troops against Pan and improved the rewards from the Pan chest at all levels. So what I've seen before is basically Evony is really bad at doing these kind of recommended troop types where you're supposed to be attacking with ground, or you're supposed to be attacking with range, or something like that. Basically, anything besides mounts tends to not be very good on monsters, unless you can just overkill it so much that you don't get wounded. And so they have changed this, and I'll actually show you kind of proof that they've changed this. So um, by the way, it does still seem like you can kill Pan 4s with mount troops, no problem, as long as you have, really solid mount buffs. But let's kind of look at the Pan 5, which is kind of the more interesting case. So I was backing um, I was backing my alliance mate here with ground. You can see decent sized ground march. He also sent ground, and I didn't get wounded, but he did. But the wounded that he got was only like 4,000. I think he actually shared the report. Yeah, so you can see here, this is the same boss, and he got like a little bit less than 5,000 wounded on a Pan 5. So total, that essentially means that, that's not a lot of wounded there, right? So however, we tried to do the same thing with mounts. I backed my alliance mates with mounts. Still pretty good buffs here. Actually, probably better because I have monster buffs here, but almost 50,000 wounded. So that usually means that you're barely killing the monster. So it does seem like they actually did fix the troop advantage, and for at least Pan 5s, you should be using the recommended troop type, whether that be ground, mount, uh, or or range. Uh, there's only, I mean, range is kind of interesting as well. Could you imagine if they had a siege, recommended siege one, where people had to get wounded on siege for a boss? That would be wild. Um, but yeah, so they've also improved the rewards for the pan chest. So let's take a look at those and see what they are. I wish that I had kept some from last week, but I really needed them for the materials and stuff like that. So let's look at the rewards. Okay, it looks like they added additional speed ups here. So these speed ups weren't there before. There was more resources here though. So basically it looks like they took out resources and added the senior resource chests and then added these speed ups. So that's kind of interesting. Let's look at maybe the more interesting ones, the higher level ones. Level 2. Wow, I'm actually really loving these speeds. I need speeds way more than I need resources. So this is great. I mean, 28 hours of speeds, 30 hours of speeds plus all of these ones. That's great. So that's level 3. This is level 4. So again, the resources are just really nothing. It's almost an insult to even have them put the resources there. They basically just completely got rid of the resources and then went in with a whole bunch of speeds here. So those speeds are the same as before, and then these ones are basically giving you a day and a half of speeds and then a little bit over a day of speeds here. So still not like the best monster in terms of speeds. Like this is still not nearly as good as a Cerberus 5, but I mean you are getting 3 tactic scrolls, which is the important part, especially now that they've increased the spawn rate. That's going to be a lot more important. Okay, this is cool. Another day here, 30 hours here, and okay, weird. They've reduced that one actually, but yeah. So I mean, overall, I don't know. It is what it is. Uh, I kind of like it. There's more speeds there, but for people who need more resources, that's going to be kind of a bummer that they've reduced those there. Let me actually look and see on the pan trial event here. Did they change these at all? Okay, so that's still there. Still no default buff thing. And then let's see the rewards. Pan treasure. Yes, these still really suck actually. No chance at the big resources or anything like that. So, uh, yeah, I mean they basically just swapped out for resources. Let's see. Yeah, see the senior Cerberus are still a much better boss there. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of the adjustments that they made to pan trials. I'm kind of in favor of it. I still would prefer Yimmers because Yimmers also give really good speeds, but they have a lot of resources too, so kind of the best of both worlds. Um, I do want to actually do a shout out for Battlefield. It was actually a really fun Battlefield. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't record it. I didn't think to record it after, we were like halfway done, but we we met up with PGN, I think from server 33, and kind of two older servers, similar buff ranges, slugging it out, and it was a lot of good fun. It was actually reminding me a lot of kind of the fun Battlefield days that we had kind of in the past. And if we look at the score, it was much closer. So, I mean, this was actually we kind of let them. We started to do some dumb rallies at the end just because we were like, well, I it was weird. We had troops at the end of the battlefield, so we wanted to get rid of those, but they were pre-raining pretty heavily. They didn't want to lose their lead, so we eventually stopped. But yeah, super fun battlefield. Right after I did the rant on how battlefield matching sucks. We'll see if it keeps up. We'll see. That alliance actually is quite a bit bigger than us in terms of power. So maybe they're kind of in the same boat where they're constantly getting matched with newer servers that are able to match uh, to really just destroy them with buffs. But yeah, that's all that I had for you guys today. Again, check out my last video on the AppCoins wallet to get that bonus discount, and I'll see you in the next video.